Well, it's definitely been an interesting week. Starting off with, haven't forgotten about those poor kids who were murdered in Uvalde, Texas. There are more things coming out that are casting more questions than answers about the police response. At this point, the district police chief has been suspended from his job with the district, but he is still on the local city council, to which he was sworn in within a few days of the Uvalde shooting. So we're still waiting to see what happens with that. We're still in the aftermath of the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. There are people out there who are now offering their help for people who are in states where abortion has now been made illegal, with people in states where it is legal offering to help people secure what should be their right to bodily autonomy. So that's been interesting. In some cases, courts have stayed those trigger laws that immediately made abortion illegal in certain states. So it's been interesting watching that. And then there are DAs in various states, including some southern states, who have stated on the record that they will not be pursuing prosecutions for those women who do exercise their right to bodily autonomy. So it's going to be interesting again with that, though it's also been noted that if a DA has said something like that, they will more than likely assign a different DA to that case who would be far more amenable to prosecuting a woman for making the decision not to be an incubator. So there's that. Then Tuesday, we had the surprise hearing with the January 6th committee. They had originally said they were not going to be meeting again until July 11th, as I recall. But they offered bombshell testimony from former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows' Special Assistant Cassidy Hutchinson, who related several stories about her experience at the White House and what she witnessed, and in some cases was told by others who she had no reason to disbelieve what she had to say. Everything from Trump knowing full well that people had weapons in Washington, D.C., and him demanding to have metal detectors removed so that those people could sit in or stand in, I guess, on a speech that he made before the complete wild insanity of the insurrection attempt. He wanted and expected to be taken from that speech to the Capitol congressional steps so that he could lead people there in his little tin pot dictator takeover of our government and overthrow of a lawful election. And when he was told that he would not be taken there, first he attempted to take control of the vehicle by grabbing the wheel, and when told that he needed to take his hand off the wheel, he then, from what Ms. Hutchinson said, lunged at the driver and grabbed him here, the clavicle, the neck, to try and force the issue. And fortunately, the Secret Service are made of much stronger stuff, and he was still driven back to the White House, where he could stew there. And we all know how he apparently said that it might be a good idea that Mike Pence be hanged, I guess is the proper word for that. And he didn't have a problem with it. He refused to do anything to make people stand down. Someone else shared a private message. She had sent something to Melania Trump about trying to get people to stand down. And from what this woman shared, Melania's response to that request was just a flat no. So the Trump family is definitely neck deep in this, and hopefully there will be enough revealed that they can actually prosecute Donald John Trump, who I refer to most usually as the Fap Weasel, for the attempted overthrow of the United States government, because that's clearly what he was trying to do here. And once again, as I keep saying, there need to be consequences for bad actions, and this man is nothing but a large pile of bad action, and something needs to be done, and done soon, because he has people out there who would still do this all over again in support of him, because apparently they are either willfully ignorant or they are neo-Nazis or whatever, and they think this little guy is their savior on earth. And in fact, some apparently have said something along those lines. It's really frightening. But anyway, that's the update so far. Justice Breyer he's resigning as of noon Eastern time today, at which Ketanji Jackson Brown will be taking over his seat on the United States Supreme Court. So we'll see what happens with that. She's certainly entering a court that is full of controversy and very bad rulings. In fact, today, the Supreme Court limited the Environmental Protection Agency's ability to battle climate change. So that can't possibly end well there at all. All I can say is, if you're a progressive, you get to the polls every single election day and you vote for progressive candidates who will support the legislation that you would like to see have happen, because these are the people who will eventually end up confirming any new Supreme Court nominees. And if you want to avoid having more of these regressive Republican nominated and approved justices, this is what you're going to have to do. You cannot say that your vote doesn't count. You cannot rely on somebody else to do the job. You have to be there. You have to make the assumption that nobody else is going to do it. So it has to be you. No more relying on somebody else to sweep the sidewalk or the equivalent. You have to be there, and you have to do it yourself. And with that, I will leave you for now. I look forward to your comments, and I will respond where appropriate. You take it easy and keep fighting the good fight. I'm right there with you. Take care.